So a player we have talked about many times on this channel is Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame. And the question is, will Cincinnati take him with the 28th overall pick? That's a no-brainer. If he's available, they will take him. But the problem is, will he be available? So let's learn a little bit more about Michael Mayer today. We're using Sci.com for their article to see how he's a perfect fit for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, of course, if they do want to go ahead and get him, my guess is, and we talked about this earlier today, there was a mock draft where Cincinnati actually could trade up with the Jacksonville Jaguars here and actually trade for their 24th overall pick by packaging their 28th and also packaging up with Jonah Williams to get the 24th overall pick, which would put them in peak range for possibly getting someone like Michael Mayer. Now, I've said in that video, if Broderick Jones, for example, was available at 24th overall pick, I would go with Broderick Jones. I would go with Michael Mayer, then I go with Broderick Jones, then I probably would go with Cansey, and then Deontay Banks. In that video, we talk about the mock draft and how the person wants us to take Deontay Banks. But to be honest, at that possible spot, there are so many different players they could target that I think Deontay Banks is probably the last player on the list. Michael Mayer is definitely up there on that list. Same thing with Broderick Jones. But let's go ahead and go back to this article and learn more about him. So, starting off right away, he is 6'4", 249 pounds. He runs a 4.7 40-yard dash, RAS of 8.30. His strengths, Michael Mayer's hands are his big strength of his, along with high-end ball skills. He could be a consistent possession receiver for Burrow. Mayer is also a solid after the catch. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but he runs with power and gains extra yardage after contact. The Bengals were 7th in the league in red zone touchdowns last season, and someone like Mayer could easily improve that even more. When it comes to blocking, Mayer is a capable blocker in the run game that takes advantage of his size to bully defensive backs and linebackers. He plays the game very physical, which is something the Bengals could use from a tight end. Overall, he's a powerful possession receiver with a good inline blocking skills. His physicality and size helps him to be well-rounded tight end, but someone that could help the Bengals win in 2023. His weaknesses. Mayer doesn't have breakaway speed. While I think he's a well-balanced tight end, he won't be breaking off too many 50-yard touchdowns. He's a valuable weapon, but his ability as an athlete is slightly limited. I consider blocking a strength for him, but there's room for improvement. He is dominant against defensive backs and linebackers, but struggles against defensive ends and interior defense alignment. That makes sense because he is only, 249, so he's a little bit smaller to go against someone like Cam Jordan, versus going against someone like, Darius Slay, where Darius Slay he could probably bully and get through, or a linebacker in general, Devin Bush, but he's probably not going to be able to do that against someone like Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan, Aaron Donald is going to throw him around like a sack of potatoes. Summary, the Bengals need a tight end, and Mayer is an incredible, well-rounded player who offers exceptional pass-catching abilities and good blocking. If Mayer makes it to 28, he could be a great pick for the Bengals and help the team right away. I think if he's there at pick 28, he's the no-brainer number one pick for them. That's not the question. But the thing is, I don't think he will be there at pick 28, so possibly they use Jonah Williams as a, draft night spectacular where they trade him plus the 28th overall pick, then maybe trade up to one of these picks to possibly get, someone like Michael Mayer, Broderick Jones, or whoever. That could be very possible. All right, the second article I want to look at here is going to be the NFL draft prospect. This is exactly, kind of a better example of what he's going to be. So his draft prospect grade is a 6.44. Will become a good starter within 2 years. Interesting, okay. He's a 83 out of 100, which obviously is really good. Athleticism score is a 71 out of 100, tied for 14th. Total score is 83, which is tied for 4th. Production grade is 2nd for tight end ranking, and obviously that does rank him at 85 out of 100. Player bio. Mayer has had his eye on college basketball scholarship when he entered Covington Catholic High School in Independence, Kentucky. He was convinced to give football a shot, joining his quarterback brother, AJ. He was named the state Gatorade's Player of the Year as a senior, catching 15 touchdowns and picking off 4 interceptions, helping his school win a state title. Mayer's Notre Dame career started with a bang. He garnered freshman All-American and third-time All-ACC honors by tying for the Irish lead with 42 receptions, 450 yards, 10.7 per, 2 touchdowns in 12 games, 3 starts. He again topped the squad with 71 receptions, 840 yards, 11.8 receptions per, and tied for the team with a 7 receiving scores in 12 games his sophomore campaign. Mayer was a first team Associated Press All-American and John Mackey Award nation's top tight end finalist his junior season, breaking his own school record for tight ends with 9 receiving touchdowns and leads the teams with 67 receptions for 809 yards. He also set the Notre Dame record for tight ends in a single season, reception and receiving yards in 2021, and is the school all-time leader for all 3 categories for the position. Okay, interesting. And then strengths is possesses ideal frame and demeanor to play wide tight end in the NFL, makes effort to strain and win his run blocks, meets defenders with foot slide to gain positioning, fits up his run blocking with decent force, can climb on top of defenders' toes before snapping break off, maintains his stride speed throughout route turns, rarely distracted by routes or catch conflict, sinks suddenly into zone voids and presents numbers to his quarterbacks, plays big when it's time to win the contested catch. His weaknesses: needs to get into blocks with quicker hands, sluggish release and acceleration off the line, won't generate much separation at stems and turns, occasional slips getting out of breaks underneath, likely to see heavier contested catches total at the next level, upper body looks a little tight when reaching outside the frame to catch, below average run after catch talent. Okay, so here's how it all breaks down, right? Kincaid is the best receiving tight end in this draft. Then it goes Sam Laporta. The best blocking in this draft is Darnell Washington. Michael Mayer is like you take Kincaid and you take Darnell Washington and you mash the two together, right? He has really some good qualities from Kincaid and he has some good qualities from Darnell Washington. That's what Michael Mayer is. I think he'd be a great player for the Cincinnati Bengals. I really, truly believe he will be. I think he could be a guy who comes in day one, gets the job done, just does perfect. I really would love to see him for Cincinnati. But again, it really depends if he's still available with that pick. That's really what I think we all kind of are at the fence now. It's like, listen, this would be a great pick if he's still available, though. That's why if you want him, my opinion is, I say, trade up. Go trade up, get him at pick whatever, 24, and that's what you're going to have to do if you want him. Now, again, you might say, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to trade up for him. We're going to stick it and pick it. If he's there, he's there. Then you might miss him. And, when it comes to the NFL, there's only so many amazing, great tight ends, in my opinion, his caliber, that's going to be available, right? This tight end class is very good, but he's already polished. Him and Kincaid are polished tight ends, ready to go out of the gate, right? While you have Darnell Washington, which I love, but he's more of a project. Laporta is a little bit more polished, not as much, but he's a little bit more polished. And you go down the list here on tight ends, and they're all projects. Josh Wiley, I love the guy, but he's more of a project too. So you just go down the list, it's project. So, again, it's definitely, up to Cincinnati what they're going to do here. But I say trade, Jonah Williams plus trade the 28th overall pick and go get that 24th overall pick and go get yourself a star tight end. If he's available, obviously. Draft night spectacular. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.